From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon here across the globe and from the shores of Santa Monica, California, as big stimulus checks are landing in millions of viewers' hands. $300,000 of checks, fast payment, and 18 months of stimulus checks. We'll go over these monster stimulus checks, 18 months of them, and 3 to 4 or 5 checks per month, $2,000 to $3,000. Viewers have gotten them all this last month, and they will be getting them this month as well. But the breaking news today is robust. We'll be looking at the latest on the inflationary PCE released minutes ago, the manufacturing report released today as well, and the latest jobless claims numbers. In those 3 brand new economic benchmarks released minutes ago, we'll be analyzing where this economy is, where it's going. Plus, we'll have the latest details across the board when we look at the situation on those jobless claims, and also where we're going with oil, with the Federal Reserve comments, and also with the latest details on the stock market and Bitcoin potentially going lower. How are you on a big day today? We have massive stimulus checks from millions of Americans. They've gotten them over the last 5 months. They've been getting them since the month of March. They got them last month. They're getting this month. How many months of stimulus checks are they getting? 18 months of stimulus checks from this viewership of this channel. If you just found this channel, welcome. I'll show you all this broadcast, how to get 18 months of stimulus checks, how to get that Christmas stimulus, how to get those stimulus checks last month, how to get them this month. And then we'll be turning to the breaking news because we do have a lot of it today. We have the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index released minutes ago. Then we have the manufacturing report released minutes ago. And also the jobless claims. Then we'll be turning over to oil. Oil prices will be going higher based upon a major development minutes ago. And also the Federal Reserve, with Jay Powell, that major comment yesterday at the Brookings Institute. But big stimulus, big problems, and big confusion. We'll analyze it over this 1-hour broadcast. I'm excited you're here for America's most watched show for financial news on this subject. It's Afternoons LA Holidays Edition, and from the shores of Santa Monica, California, I'm streaming live right now on Channel 3 on Wall Street Live as the market is open for the month of December. It all starts right now. Good afternoon, everybody. It is now December 2022, and we start the month with a major inflationary report released minutes ago. It's the inflationary PCE number. We'll be looking at that, plus the manufacturing number and the jobless claims number. A big day and a lot of money, but the big news is massive stimulus. $300,000 of checks, fast payment, and 18 months of checks. We'll be looking at all those details over this 1-hour broadcast. Back in February of this year, I was the first American broadcaster to record that the U.S. economy would be suffering a recession starting in January of next year. We're 30 days away from that right now. And now, American Wall Street analysts are agreeing with me. Back in February, when I recorded the looming recession, my viewers in March, just a few days later, said, get me some stimulus checks. And I did. And these massive stimulus checks have been law from the federal government since the month of March. You have to pounce to get them. If you don't pounce, you don't get anything. And over this broadcast, I'm going to show you the amount of the checks, how to get the checks, where are the checks, and how to receive them, and how to really clean up. Let's go over the overview of these checks. They are now currently paying the viewership of this channel on average 18 months of stimulus checks, about 4 to 5 stimulus checks per month, about $3,000 of stimulus checks per month. That's a lot of money, and it's so darn simple to get those incredible stimulus checks. What you got to do is watch this entire broadcast. I'm going to go over every check because we have a lot of checks, stimulus checks to go over. Number 2, you got to wipe away everything you already knew about stimulus checks in prior years, because this is the way it's done now. It's the way it's going to be done next year, and you're going to need to get them. And number 3, we're going to go over the latest details on the economy that happened minutes ago and all throughout today. It's brand new breaking details on a brand new look to Afternoons LA, and it all starts right now. Let's start with the breaking news that is really fascinating. The Personal Consumption Expenditure Index was released minutes ago, the PCE. This is one of the key data for inflation that Jay Powell uses at the Federal Reserve. I use as well. I like it because this is always reliable to give you guidance on where the CPI will be just a few weeks from now. And the PCE released minutes ago for December 1, 2022 shows that personal expenditures rose 0.2%, a little bit lower than expected. They were looking it to jump a little bit higher. The index did rise 5% year to date. Personal income jumped 0.7 for the month, which is higher than expected, 0.4, but spending rose at 0.8, exactly as we were anticipating. So the PCE, when you remove food and energy, which is called the core PCE, rose 0.2 for the month, and that was up 5% for the year. So what does it show? It shows a deceleration, lower, going down, of inflation compared to the month of September, which shows a monthly rate increase of 0.5. Now we're at 0.4, and it showed an annual gain then in September of 5.2%. Now we're at 5%. So it does show a little bit progression of improvement across the board. And then when you exclude food and energy, headline PCE was still up by 0.3 per the month and 6% on an annual basis. So, summary, inflation has softened down, but it's still going up. It's not going up as aggressively as it was on an annual basis, and it isn't going as up much on a monthly basis as it was just 30 days ago. But it's still going up. Let's make it very clear. Inflation is still going up. It's just not going up as much as it was before. So to say inflation has peaked is nonsense, because inflation has not peaked. The numbers are still going up month to month and year to year. Manufacturing report. The other breaking details coming in, the second breaking news coming in today is the manufacturing report. So the manufacturing report released minutes ago shows that manufacturing really slowed in this economy in the last 30 days. Big news for this economy this week, on a big week across the board. Those manufacturing numbers show the largest drop of manufacturing in this U.S. economy in nearly 2.5 years. Wow. The data today, not particularly good. The ISM manufacturing report, which shows how much goods is this economy making, showed a drop of the largest drop in nearly 2.5 years. Declines in imports were the biggest drag on the index. It registered a 49%, which is the level of business expansion. The reading was a 1.2% below the prior month. The morning's data was a gridlock reporting showing that core inflation continues to drop. But as inflation's coming down, the markets are also seeing manufacturing decrease. All right, jobless claims. Jobless claims was the third breaking number that came in today, and this one was the one that surprised me, because everyone, and my brother and your sister and your uncle and I do not have a brother. Your brother, mother, your sister, your mother, all that, and the expressions we love. The jobless claims number actually went down. Wait a second, it went down? How did that happen? The jobless claims number was expected to go higher and went down. In fact, they revised last week's number lower. Really? That's quite surprising. So the jobless claims number came in at 225,000 jobless claims, a decrease of 16,000 compared to the prior week. And they also revised the prior week down, because remember, last week we were about 245,000. Now, do not do a pair dance. Do not get up from the chair and start dancing, because guess what? There's really bad labor numbers in here. Another report released from Challenger Gray and Christmas, that's his name. It's a great name all year round, especially in the month of December. Challenger Gray and Christmas said that planned layoffs increased 127% in just 30 days. Planned layoffs went up over 100% in 1 month. And then when you compare it year to date, planned layoffs, this is a business planning to fire you. This is a nice way to say it. Planned layoffs. You're fired. I plan to fire you. How much did that go up year to date? In the latest details from Mr. Christmas, 417%. Merry Christmas. Wow, that is a horrible number. Planned kicking you to the curbs went up I think there's no other way to say it. Planned kicking you to the curb went up 417% in 1 year, says Mr. Christmas. I can't make this stuff up, folks. It's just not a good economy. And if you think it's a great economy, then you're clearly not listening to the videos, because you need to get all this incredible stimulus. Massive stimulus is available to you right now, and that massive stimulus heats up this big broadcast. What are these stimulus checks? Well, these incredible stimulus checks are $300,000 of them, and they're fast payment. They're 18 months of checks. I'm going to go over all these incredible sums of money in just a second. Viewers of this channel have been getting it ever since, and these incredible checks are just absolutely beautiful. Now, the truth is that the path for inflation remains highly uncertain, says Jay Powell. But he also said a lot of other stuff. Jay Powell, that head of the Federal Reserve, spoke yesterday, and boy, what did he say? He said a lot, and we'll have his comments in just a second. But oil could potentially surge gas prices very dramatically in the next 30 days. You're ready to take that holiday Christmas vacation with Mr. Christmas? You're ready to get in the car because you've been fired? Let's just drive. Let's just drive because Mr. Christmas says I'm going to be planned fired. Well, maybe you want to stay home, because the European sanctions on Russian oil, featured on this channel early this year, start to take effect today. They finally started taking effect today. And that will limit a $62 a barrel this week, but Poland, Estonia, and Lithuania are not being part of this. And this could actually surge gas prices even higher than expected. Yesterday, I recorded on this channel that gas prices expect to go higher across the board. And this comes as news that cryptocurrency would literally get wiped out potentially next year. Bitcoin, a new report from Mark Mobius, says that Bitcoin could fall to 10,000 a coin next year. I say it's going to go to 10,000 by the end of this year. I think it has a far way down to go. And then Jay Powell spoke yesterday, and Jay Powell's comments yesterday were anticlimactic, because it's exactly what I told you he was going to say. He basically said that they're going to do 50 basis point at the next FOMC meeting, which is this month, the month of December. And then after that, he doesn't know. And that's exactly what I had told you he's going to say. I mean, there's nothing else he can say. He can't say, I'm going to stay at 50 basis point, because he may have to go back up to 75. He doesn't know if he's going to go to 25, because there's no indication that inflation has come down a lot. Let me give you these comments from the Brookings Institute yesterday. There's promising developments. It makes sense to moderate the pace of our rate increases as we approach the level of restraint that will be sufficient to bring inflation down. Did you have lunch? Did you have lunch yet? Because that's a word salad. Did you have lunch? Because that's a word salad. It makes sense to moderate the pace of our rate increases. What does that mean? Up, down, up, down. It makes sense to moderate. Well, okay, well, give us which way you're going. You're going up, you're going down. I mean, that's just word salad. Then he says, as we approach the level of restraint, okay, so we're approaching restraint, which doesn't really say anything, and it will be sufficient to bring that will be sufficient to bring inflation down. Well, we already know we're trying to get inflation down, but I need a vinaigrette for that sentence. I need a vinaigrette for the whole Federal Reserve. I need Thousand Island. I need, ranch to go with it as well, and some croutons and some bacon bits on top. This makes sense to moderate, and we'll be moderating the pace of increases may come as soon as a December meeting. Moderating the pace of increases, just say you're coming down. What is moderating the pace of increases? It doesn't really say anything. And Wall Street loved it. Stocks were up 700 points on the word salad. I guess Wall Street was really hungry, hadn't had lunch. That's why stocks were up 700 points. And this is why you have to get all these incredible stimulus checks. These massive stimulus checks have become law since the month of March. And my viewers have got to these incredible checks. And let's look at these incredible checks. 300,000 of them, fast payment, 18 months of checks. Let's understand the notion of these incredible checks, and let's understand why it's so important and how to really adjust ourselves. And today I'm going to do something different on this brand new LALATE look coming to this channel. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to refocus you on understanding this is the way it's done. And ultimately, you want money, you need money, you do it the way they ask you to do it. Don't come into the live chat. Don't come into the comments and say, what if? No, they're holding the cash. They're holding the cash. So, and they have a lot of it for you. So you do exactly what they say. And how do you do it? I'm going to show you how, starting right now. The viewers of this channel have been cleaning up. Let's go over the amount of money. Then we're going to go over what the money is. Then we're going to go over how you get those monies, check after check after check, stimulus check after one at a time in this recording. First, the average payout of stimulus checks that viewers of this channel are walking away with right now is 18 months of stimulus checks. Yeah, that's a lot of monthly stimulus checks, otherwise known as MSCs. Monthly stimulus checks, 18 months of them, is the norm on this channel. Number two, how many stimulus checks per month of those 18 months? The viewers on this channel are averaging about 5 stimulus checks per month. 5 stimulus checks per month at 18 months is a lot of stimulus checks. It's also a lot of money. How much money is it? The average viewer of this channel is getting about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 of stimulus checks per month in value. $5,000 in value of stimulus checks per month times 18. That's a lot of money. And that is absolutely incredible. Where the biggest payouts that are giving viewers of this channel so much stimulus checks. It's from the federal stimulus checks. The federal stimulus checks. We'll go over those in just a second. Lifetime stimulus checks will also be covered in this recording, and also inflation relief stimulus checks. All right, let's first go into these federal stimulus checks starting right now. Federal stimulus checks means it's coming from the federal government. There's two parts of the way this country works. Your city, your county, your state, that's one part. The other part is the federal government. That's those people in Washington, D.C., Congress, and the president. The people who have the most money is the federal government. The people who have the least amount of money is your city, county, and state. So that's why I've never, ever, ever on the channel featured anything from your city, county, and state. I don't care about what's going on in your city, county, and state. You don't like it? You don't like your city, county, and state? Well, good luck, because I don't cover it on this channel. I only cover the federal government. They have the big money. And I'm going to show you how to get these big sums of money. These federal stimulus checks, these Santa stimulus checks, FSCs, are about 300 possible checks, number one. Number two, and you qualify. You qualify. Number three, they've been around since March. My viewers of this channel have gotten them since the month of March. And number four, they're still paying out. Ultimately, what you need to do is move very quickly, because now we're in December. And I've been reporting since February of this year, and I'll be reporting all this month long and next month as well, that January 2023 is going to be the economic calamity that everyone is waiting for. This economic calamity that I first reported in February is going to hit very, very severe. It's going to be worse than the lockdown of 2020. It's going to be worse than anything you remembered in this generation. It's going to be far worse than the last two recessions of 2008 and 2001, because the 2001 recession, most people were not impacted by it. It was the savings and loan debacle. The 2008 recession, most people were not impacted by it either, because that was the tech bubble. This recession, you're all going to get hurt. You're going to get laid off. You're going to lose your jobs. You may lose your home. You may lose your car if you don't do exactly what the Congress and the President of the United States wants you to do. Come and get their checks. And I'm going to show you how to come and get those incredible checks in just a second. Step one, you watch this entire video. Step two, you go under the video, subscribe, and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. And step three, take notes. And with that, let's jump into those incredible checks by starting with the first three checks, those federal stimulus checks, the first three of them, I should say. Starting right now, let's understand what are federal stimulus checks, where do they come from, and understand what they make up across the board. These incredible federal stimulus checks are absolutely huge. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, go get it as well. Let's look at them right now. First, these checks were passed by the President of the United States in the month of March. In a series of executive actions not widely reported but featured on this channel, the same day they became law, my viewers started getting them the same day they became law. Weeks went on and no broadcaster ever recorded anything about them except really me. And there's $100,000 in those first three checks. Then came Congress. First, before we continue to Congress, you qualify. Single individual, if you make $75,000 less, go get them. If you're a married couple, you make $150,000 less, you qualify. Go get them. If you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Rural Benefits, go get them. How do you get them? You become a member. Go right in this video and become a member. Apply for those checks. I'm going to show you how, and get that financial freedom from LALATE. Then came Congress, and they passed more checks. And those are checks E through K, bringing us to hundreds of stimulus checks that have been paying out to viewers of this channel since the month of March. And along the way, I found other checks, L and M, and N and O, and P and Q, more stimulus checks. Where are they? In the LALATE newsletter is where you apply for these incredible checks. The LALATE newsletter is delivered from me to you, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, via the YouTube alert. You'll get an alert at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, know your time zone, and you go down in that alert till you see the link that says go right into the newsletter, and you click the link and go right and apply. It's that simple. Become a member and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and apply for those incredible checks. Let's now jump right into the first 3 checks. Checks A, B, and C. These are the first 3 of these checks from the federal government, these federal stimulus checks. Check A, $6,500 to $12,000. Spelly got it, Kimberly Romano got it, and countless other viewers have gotten as well. You can get it as well. How do you get it? You go under this video, join the channel, become a member, then open that membership newsletter from me to you, deliver at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, know your time zone, via YouTube alerts, go right down and click the link and go right in and apply. It's that simple. Then get check B, $15,000 to $80,000. It's a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Here's an example of those incredible stimulus check Bs. Here's Frank Mancuso. He joined this channel less than 30 days. What did he get? Tens of thousands of dollars. He got check B for 18 months of mortgage, 18 months of utilities. That's several checks just there alone, the utilities. And 18 months of high-speed internet. Folks, that is 5 to 6 checks per month. That is 18 months times 5 checks a month. That is enormous sums of money. We have Kimberly Romano, who also got check B, and she got her HOA fees and all her utilities. And that brought her to 18 months of check Bs plus $4,000 of her property taxes, bringing her to nearly a whopping $40,000 there alone. Plus, she got check A on top of that. And we have another viewer out of Florida who got 18 months of checks, 5 checks a month, $80,000. You can as well. All you do is you go into this video, become a member right today, go apply for these incredible checks right today, open that membership newsletter right today, and pounce as a Purple Hawk right today. Let's then go down to the next check, and that is check C, which is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Check C is absolutely incredible. There's 12 places to reach out to get these incredible check Cs. They're all in the membership newsletter. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, more. In the newsletter, it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Check C's success stories on this channel have been really huge in recent months. Do you want $30,000 of rent? Well, go get some check C, and here you go. Here are some of the success stories for rent from check C. Become a member. Mark, $6,500 utilities. His brother-in-law, $15,000 of utilities. Then same brother-in-law, $250,000 of SNAP over 10 years. Mark, combinations of checks, went from $32,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 to $166,000. Nisi was at $23,000. She went to $50,000, then went to a whopping more money on top of that. And then here's Lorraine. She was at $105,000 and she went to $155,000. So how do I do this again, LALATE? Very simple. You go under the video, join the channel. There's a little button on the video that says join the channel. Hit it right today. Then you subscribe. Then you make sure all the notifications set to all on. There's a little bell at the front of the channel. Hit it so it's set to all on. And you want to watch the videos. You want to watch the videos from beginning to end because that's just the first 3 checks. We got more checks coming up later in this recording. Then we'll go to inflation relief stimulus checks, and then we'll go to lifetime stimulus checks. This is big money. Dragon has gotten $170,000 from this channel. We have Johnny, who helped 20 friends and neighbors get $250,000. He got $70,000 plus for himself alone. And then we have Kimberly Romano. You saw her success story, just a lot of money. It's at least $50,000. And that viewer out of Florida, that other viewer out, not Frank, but the other viewer, she got nearly $80,000 to $100,000. What are you doing? You get these big sums of money right now. Here are 3 things I want you to remember, and they're brand new today on Afternoons LA. Number 1, I want you to forget everything you knew about stimulus before. This is the way it's done right now. And I got to tell you, I'm trying to bite my lip because sometimes this makes me really angry. The first stimulus package of CARES Act was done this way. And you may have never gotten a penny from CARES Act because I was not recording in the magnitude that I am now. CARES Act required you to do things exactly the way this stimulus is being done right now. These stimulus checks right now in 2022 going into 2023 is exactly the way the first stimulus package was done. Viewers or people got hundreds of thousands of dollars from the first stimulus package in March of 2020. Did you get $100,000? You probably did not because you didn't watch me. I wasn't really recording that much at that time because this channel was new at the time. Then in 2021, people got a measly, ridiculous, pathetic $600 stimulus check. It's pathetic at $600. It's nothing. What the world is $600? Doesn't even pay for, 2 oil changes at this point. $600 is nothing. And you saw it land in the mailbox, and congratulations, there's a cotton ball of $600 checks in the mailbox. Well, come into 2022, this was the way you did it. And it started in March. And my viewers have gotten millions and millions of dollars this year. This will be the way it's being done the whole rest of this year. This is the Santa stimulus. This is the way it's going to be done in 2023. So you go do it right now, the way it's done right now. Don't talk about that stupid $600 check you sat in your mailbox when I have $60,000 of checks. Don't talk about that one check when I have 18 months of checks, of 5 checks a month. And don't talk about one thing that happened a year and a half ago. This is the way it's done right now. A lot of tough love. And the reason I'm coming in really tough on the tough love is because the economy is going to implode in 30 days from now. If you are sitting right now watching this video on a wad of cash, God bless you. But if you're not, you need to move your butt right today. You need to start doing this right now. And anyone that says something like, well, they should, and they oughta, and they should, and when will they? Stop it. Stop it. They have the cash. They say, I have a lot of cash for you. This is the way you will get the cash. Come and get the cash. You aren't holding the cash. You don't get to call the shots. They call the shots. They have the cash. And it's very simple. So why would you sit on your butt and not go get the money? Get moving right today. Go under this video, become a member, start applying for these incredible checks, and doing what the other viewers of this channel have been doing all across the board. Moreover, it's so important to understand the universe of reporting on stimulus. Your local news never cared about you. Does your local news care whether you lose your home? Does your local news care whether you have your car repossessed? Does your local news care anything about you? They never cared about you. So don't say that I don't hear this in my local news. They don't care about you. They care about you watching to hear the latest lip gloss that Courtney and Chloe are rolling out. They don't really care about you. So they're not going to cover this. So they should not be part of the equation. I haven't heard about this. Number 2. If all you're talking about is what you've seen in your mailbox or what you've seen in your direct deposit, you're getting nothing. Congratulations, you're going to get nothing. And come January, you may get evicted or have your car repossessed or lose your job. And you will continue to repeat the nonsense of I looked at my direct deposit, I looked at my mailbox, there's nothing there. Guess what? It'll still never be there next year because this is the way it's done right now. And for the first time, I'm really comfortable in saying this to you going forward. If you don't move and get the money right now, I'm not bringing you along for the journey. So if you want to live in a universe that is an altered facts universe that says, well, they ought to do it this way, and I stood by my mailbox and it wasn't in the mailbox, and I look at the direct deposit and I hold a donut and I don't see anything landing. You know what? I've been making a lot of videos over this year. It's been a full year. And if you've not heard the message by now, you're never going to hear the message. So starting today, I'm dealing with people who listen. I'm dealing with people who want money. I'm dealing with people who do things the way it has been established for you to do it. And if you don't want to be part of that path with me, then, good luck on what you're doing with your life. Because it's not going to be a good situation. I don't want to see what happens to you. And I care about you. But if you don't want to be on the path to doing things the right way and the way that has been established by Congress or the President of the United States, you don't want to do the path and you want to sit back and just complain about something and ask nonsense questions like, when are people with purple hair getting stimulus checks? When are people that wear purple shirts? When are they getting stimulus checks? If you continue to ask questions that really have been answered on this channel for over a year, then at that point, it just causes me to think you just don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it. So if you don't want to do it, then good luck to you. Because I have a path with the viewership that is doing it. The viewers that are doing it are cleaning up. The viewers who are doing it can do more. The viewers who are doing it need to be taught, want to be taught how to get more of it. People who have gotten massive amount of checks, or even the first check for this channel, want to learn how to get more of the checks. And that's what I'm here to do, is to teach you how to learn to earn. And if you don't want to learn, then what are you doing? Just drifting through? Looking to collect a check like a drifter? Yesterday, in one of the comments, someone said, I'm not on an island by one. Well, I don't know what's on that island because I don't visit that island. But the point is that there's massive amounts of money. And if you don't want to do it the way it's been established, if you just want to sit back and just complain, then guess what? I guess you have a very, very rich, comfortable lifestyle that you get to sit around and just do nothing, because that's not my viewership. My viewership are people that really need help, that really need assistance. They want to be shown how it's done. And going forward, starting today, as early as Evenings LA, I'm no longer going to talk about people who simply just do not want to make the effort to get the money. And that is the incredible great news in the big second half. We'll continue with these big stimulus checks, lots of them, then over to lifetime stimulus checks, then over to inflation relief stimulus checks, plus to the latest breaking news from Wall Street. It's a big day, and we're getting so excited, and it is just getting underway. More of these incredible $300,000 of checks, these fast rounding time checks with 18 months of them, are coming up in the big second half. We got a lot to go over. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as all these incredible checks continue to pay out into the month of December. More money and more details in the big second half. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues in a big second half from the shores of Santa Monica, California. One of the things you're going to see slightly newer on this brand new look to LA in the next few days is I'm going to go back to something I used to really like on this channel. A lot more lighthearted, a lot more fun, a lot more laughter and jokes. And I know Nancy still has that same hairstyle. So we're going to do a lot more of that. And that ultimately means that I'm going to be walking away from all those negative nannies, all those people who simply just don't want to learn. All those people don't want to even know what the time zone is where they are. It's just, it's sort of ridiculous. And so in a given broadcast, you only have so much space in which to record. So I need to get riding with the stimulus. I need to go over the checks with you. I need to cover the economy. And I'm going to not take up any more time on people who simply don't want to learn very, very basic, who don't even understand very basic things like what time is it? Hi, let me spend 5 minutes of this video to tell you what time it is. Oh, I'm going to argue with what time it is. I just don't have that time anymore in the videos. I'm going to go right into the economy, deliver more humor for you, some more food, because I know you want that as well. And then we'll go right into those stimulus checks. And that's what we're picking up right now. Do you feel better? I do feel better as well. I mean, the people just don't want to learn anything. They're just, you know, rich. That's all I can say. You must be really rich if you can sit back and say, I don't want your $80,000 because unless you're paying it to me a certain way, I don't want it. I guess you're really rich. Or dense. All right, let's jump into the Check E's 2K passed by Congress. Check E is a $7,500 stimulus check. It is absolutely incredible. Check F is a $4,000 stimulus check. Then we have Check G is 30% off. Check H, $2,000 stimulus check. Then Check I, a $8,000 stimulus check. Check J, a $8,000 stimulus check. Then Check K, $14,000 stimulus check. My goodness, that is incredible. And then we go to Stimulus L, which does not stand for loser. It's a $100,000 on average stimulus check. Oh, well, that's a lot. That stands for L, and M stands for money. $4,000 stimulus check. And then we go to Stimulus N, which is a brand new tablet, computer, a laptop, which is great. I mean, it's a great way for me to block you if you post nonsense. Then we go to Stimulus P and Q. Stimulus P is 30% off and 3% down for a refi, and Q is $8,000 stimulus checks. The totality of these incredible stimulus checks, let's look at them right now. The largest stimulus check, $100,000. The smallest stimulus check, $8,000. Fastest routing time, which is how long it takes for you to get it, 2 days. Johnny started on Monday. He got $45,000 in 2 days from this channel as a member. By Friday, he had gotten $80,000 because he got 15 applications in, 7 approved and 7 rejected. It's absolutely incredible. That's how you want to do it. The next week, he helped mom and dad each get $50,000, and then his 20 friends and neighbors $250,000 over the next few weeks. The checks, we have home repairs, we have home appliances, we have rent, we have utilities, we have mortgage assistance, we have the car, we have the computer, we have internet. We have a lot of great checks in these federal stimulus checks. So let's go over the overview of these numbers again. The overview of these numbers again are the following. They are about $300,000 of different checks, fast payment, 18 months of checks. They're paying about 4 or 5 checks per month, about $3,000, and you qualify. You want to get these incredible checks across the board. The next checks after that are called inflation relief stimulus checks. They're like icing on the cake, and they're about $1,000. Details of them are in the membership newsletter down at Check D. And then finally, we have the beautiful lifetime stimulus, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. You're going to have 4 raises of your benefits, not 1. You already got a 5.9% raise for this year. You're going to get an 8.7% raise for next year. Then you're going to have 2 more years of inflation. That means you're going to get 2 more raises of your benefits. They're cumulative raises, meaning the raise is on top of the raise, not replacement raise. And what's incredible news is that by that 4th year, which is 2024, the cost of living will be the lowest of a generation, and you will have the highest check of a generation. Remember, once your check goes up, it never goes down. That's the way this SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits works. And with that, let's go back into the breaking news we're dealing with today. So there is a lot of it. Let's jump back into that personal consumption expenditure index. That PCE was a very, very important number today. Why? Because it basically showed inflation month to month is still going up. The key word in that sentence is up. It does not show inflation has peaked. Peaked means the number would have had to come down. Here's what's important to understand, is that some incorrect Wall Street analysts say inflation has peaked because the number is less than expected. That's not the definition of a peaked. They also say it has peaked because it shows that it's not going up as much as it went up the prior month. That's also not peaked. Here's an example. Let's say inflation went up 3% last month, and the latest number this month is 2%. That doesn't show inflation has peaked. It means it's still going up. It's just not going up as much. For it to peak, it would basically be a flat number. It would basically be 0. And for inflation to come down, it would be a negative number. And so, it's really not a correct analysis across the board. In fact, when you look at the analyzed numbers, it's not any better across the board in their analysis. Manufacturing report. This manufacturing report is very critical because a lot of businesses are dependent upon manufacturing in the U.S. economy. And the number released today is the lowest number. It's a monthly number in 2.5 years. It is a November number. And it registered at 49%, which shows that there's a contraction, meaning it's less of it. And the reading was 1.2 percentage points below October, and this is the worst number we've seen for manufacturing since the lockdown, since May of 2020. So this is really not good. The declines in orders were part of the reason, but also was while inflation is softening, it does show that there's a massive shrinkage of manufacturing. This morning's data was like a Goldilocks report. It showed core inflation coming to drop. No, it didn't. If inflation keeps on coming down, the markets will run higher. No, they won't. God, who is this guy? I'm not going to say his name on air because it's a ridiculous quote. He's basically saying inflation came down today. It did not. It just didn't come in as high as expected. And then he says if it continues to improve, then the markets are going to continue to rally up. No, they're not. We're going in a recession starting in January. We are not down 50%. We have to go down 50%, and the markets are absolutely going to crumble. Let's go back to Mr. Christmas. Not for Santa stimulus, but Mr. Christmas with the You're Fired report. The You're Fired report today is really not good. Layoffs are up 400% in 1 year in the latest number, and they're up nearly over 100% in just 1 month. Now, the jobless claims number is very deceptive. It is a sign of improvement compared to the prior week, but it's not anything to rally home at all about. The concerns on this channel this week have been oil and China, supply chain disruption, both of them, that causes prices to go higher. Well, China, we learned, I think it was on Tuesday, that the China situation for the protests there, they're protesting the workers in China. They're not showing up in the factories to make our products for our companies there, could continue into February. That's number one. Number two, today we're learning that the EU's limits on Russian oil take place starting today. There's more supply chain disruption for you. And also, we have big questions about so many markets not particularly doing well. Let's jump into some corporate earnings released minutes ago today as well. This is brand new. So we're going to go over Land's End, Dollar General, and Kroger, the grocery store. So Designer Brands, which is a which is like a Nike, its stock is down 16% of pre-market trading, miss on top and bottom. So it really did not do well in its tennis shoe earnings in this last quarter, miss on top and bottom. The stock is down 16% in 1 day alone. Dollar General, here we go. So Dollar General is down 6% today after it cut its annual forecast. So it says it's not going to be good this year because of costs going higher. Land's End reported a loss. It fell 26% in a few hours today. Insane. And that's because of higher costs, up 17.7%. Kroger is just the machine that makes money. Kroger was up in store sales 7%. It's just making a lot of money, folks. And it added a 4% to its stock in pre-market trading. Five Below, which of course is food, beat, and its stock was up 10% in pre-market trading as well. Costco, and you listening? How do you think Costco did? I was actually surprised with this one. I stared at it because we had Walmart beat, we had Target miss. So Costco is closer to a Kroger because people go to Costco for food. They don't go to Target for food. We already learned that. That's why Target didn't do well. Walmart did do well. So you go to Costco for food, and then you happen to buy some lobster shorts. No. You go to Costco for food. You expect it did well like Kroger. It did not. Costco is down 3.2% after its November sales slumped 10%. Not good. What went on? What went wrong? And did you buy less pizza last month? Why did Costco have less traffic, less business in the month of November? Uh, and this only bought one pizza in the month of November. What went wrong here? It doesn't make sense. Needless to say, I'm really shocked that Costco was a miss. But Kroger just really continues to churn money out, just makes money like it's going out of style. The parent company of Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. Okay, so this is like Old Navy, beat. This is like Macy's, beat. And this is like, I think we had some similar brands that really did well. Did it beat? It's the parent company, Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. It did beat 9.4% in pre-market trading. Because it has pricing power, it's being able to offset the macro environments across the board. Wow, what a great show this has been. There's a lot going on, and tonight on Evenings LA we'll have even more. Did that feel like a really jam-packed show? It really is. Ultimately, you saw what my message was early in this channel, on this video today, was that the people who don't want to learn, that simply want to be drifters, want to sort of show up when there's a check. Where's my check? I looked at the mailbox. I looked at the bank account. It's not there. And then write crazy stuff. You know, this crazy stuff they write. I haven't heard anyone get a check. Well, they actually, you know what they actually do? I need to tell you this because I endure everything, you know, seeing the back end. And I endure a lot of stuff that I should not have to endure. They actually call these people liars. I actually get comments from people saying, Mark is a liar, Nisi is a liar, Dragon's a liar. They actually call my fellow viewers liars. I mean, it's really sick. It's really sick that people who don't want to do anything then start attacking the people who do want to do things. Can you imagine? And you and I had talked about that as soon as this economy gets really bad, people are going to get very, very angry. Well, I expect that to be full form in less than 30 days away because it's January is when we say the financial cliff is going to hit. So that's why today's messaging is very loud and pronounced. Starting today, as early as Evenings LA, as early as Mornings LA, which I'm about to go on air with you in just a second because it's actually filmed after afternoons, I will be bringing us back to our core, which is stimulus, financial news, and more humor. Everything else, I'm not even going to acknowledge that those nonsense people are around. Those people don't want to do anything, don't know what time zone it is, don't even know how to sign into YouTube, don't even, want to tell Congress to do things differently, want to say, I heard that, I didn't see that, all those people, good luck in 2023, because I won't be here for you. You have had all of 2022 for this channel since March to get these stimulus checks. You haven't. You have repeated your nonsense. And guess what? You're going to be in big trouble starting next month. And I'm not going to be here on that path for you because I've had all this year to help you and you don't want the help. And now you actually want to attack other viewers. Good luck. See you soon. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE, and I will be there for the viewers who want to learn to earn, who want to get big sums of money, who are kind, who are gentle, who help other people, who inspire people, who motivate people, who are people like Lynn Glenn, who says, I want to tell people about my success story. Like Kimberly Romano says, I want to inspire other people. If you want to help people, if you want to care about people, if you want to improve yourself, you're part of this family. And that's why this channel has always worked. Never allow people to take us off a message. They'll never be taken off a message. We're always here on core. And in a universe in which people went to record crypto and left stimulus altogether, left you hanging, they're now not recording crypto. They're now not recording stimulus. I have always been here. I will always be here with you. And there's new shows coming. There's all three channels across the board. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Big programming coming up later today, starting at 5 o'clock. It's prime time. It's evenings. Become a member. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.